Hello, me again, and we're going to actually navigate our way through the Mars cube. So I've set this to look like Mars. The main difference between Earth and Mars is we have one other fixed center. So before with the Earth cube, we had the white one, and I think we had the, well, I think it was a blue one. Well, now in addition to that, that's adjacent, we also have the yellow one. So the white and the gray have a non-bandaged center. Both of the blues do, and both of the yellowish colors, yellow and beige, which makes an interesting challenge. So looking up at Mars, of course, it's fascinating to look at it through a telescope. It looks like pretty much a dead red planet, except for the polar ice caps that you can see on the top and the bottom. The reason why it looks like that is a long time ago it probably looked a lot like the Earth, with oceans and a lot of water on it, but because of its smaller size, the core actually stopped causing the dynamo action of moving. Because of the core stopped moving, the magnetosphere came to a close. Plate tectonics stopped and it just became geologically pretty much dead, and because the magnetosphere faded away, solar bombardments came and stripped the atmosphere from it. So it became cold and basically dead. Might have even been a little bit of life on that from a microscopic standpoint that maybe we'll discover as we take a look at more soil samples with that. But in many ways, it's kind of a look in terms of what might happen to the Earth a couple billion years in the future. When eventually our molten core cools off, plate tectonics ceases, the magnetosphere goes away, the atmosphere gets bombarded by cosmic and solar rays, thus stripping the atmosphere. And perhaps at some point, maybe life on Mars looked up at this kind of foggy planet that was developing into the Earth, and maybe a couple billion years in the future, some life on one of the moons of Saturn or Jupiter, like Titan, will look up at this pale red dot that we used to call Earth after it's died off. Anyway, with that cheery analogy or cheery story, the main thing about this, and I actually was considering if I wanted to do a tutorial on this or a demonstration, as it's very similar to the Earth cube. I decided to do that because this represents sort of the stretching of the strategies that I've been using to its limit. Each puzzle has identified kind of a unique feature that was taken to the next level. For Mercury, it was the Mercury strategy of placing the inner edges. For Venus, there's a Venus strategy of rolling outer edges up here by doing, the algorithm that was designed to do that, to move this up to here, as long as you have non-fixed, non-bandaged side on the top. And then there's the Earth strategy, which was the observation by doing the RU, RIU, R3U, that you can actually, on the surface of a non-fixed side, rotate the inner edges around so that you can put them into formation if you want. So each one has its unique strategy that was carried to the next cube. Mars doesn't have anything brand new compared to that. It's really the same type of strategy, but it stretches the very limits of the strategy that we've been using. So what I'm going to add to the Mars addition to this is what I call the Mars conundrum. The Mars conundrum is basically the stretching of our strategies to its very limit of patience. And it was almost worth maybe considering a completely different strategy, as I did with Jupiter and Saturn, but upon doing it and solving it, we were actually able to kind of have a consistent strategy. So I did just want to go through that and see how things work. So with that said, let's go ahead and scramble. Scramble if you got them. And we got it. At some point, I'm probably going to give in to the temptation in doing what I would call a desert island video, which is where I go through all the puzzles that I would take with me if I knew I was going to be caught on a desert island. And I have to say, the Mars Megaminx may be one of them, because it really uses all the strategies of the previous terrestrial cubes. The Mercury strategy, the Venus algorithm, the Earth algorithm, and then of course the Mars conundrum. So why would I take any of those when all of those can be rolled into this guy? And I think this one represents among the more interesting and tough challenges of the first 4 series of Megaminxes. So the first step that I'm going to do is once again put in my inner stars. Now because I have an equal number of bandaged and equal number of non-bandaged, I'm calling the bandaged ones the centers that are fixed and the non-bandaged one the centers that move. Because I have an equal number of them, what I'm going to do is put in the bandaged centers first, using the non-bandaged ones to move that in, and then I'll put the non-bandaged ones in later in conjunction with each other. Because once I put this star in, these stars in, it's locked into position and I don't have to worry about it. So it's all a question of perspective first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on atop one of my bandaged sides, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with the Earth puzzle. I'm going to go ahead and use my dark green. So I'm just going to start moving in edges as best I can. These two are easy here. This comes in over here. And just kind of do handoffs with the fixed sides should I need to. And another one right over here. But I need to move it within this plane here, so if I can move it to here or here, the blue or the silver, that would be good. Well, actually, yeah. Okay, actually I can move it right through here, so I'm going to move it across here, hand it off to the silver, move it here, put it in. So we're just going to take this step by step by step. And here's one over here. This needs to come in this plane, so I'm going to hand it off to the beige, or I can move it in. Alright, so far simple stuff, no tricks. So this is in. I'm going to orient myself with this on the top and start to put in all the bandaged sides just across from it. So not this one, but this one, not this one, and this one. So let's put the purple in next. So let's just find purples. Here's a purple here, and it's in a non-bandaged side, so I can easily just move this up. Now I'm going to want to move this into here without messing this up. And that's going to be fairly simple. Just move this down and across. Alright, this guy I can move into here, down and across, up. This guy I can just put that in there like that. And the next purple will be right here. It's got to move in this plane here. So if I can hand it off to the white, that would be good. This doesn't move, so I have to hand it off to the... Well, yeah, let's hand it off to this blue here. So we'll go 1, 2, turn, turn. The reason why I turned it twice is when I move it from here, it's going to turn everything. Actually, I'll turn it again so I can get the green and the blue out of the way. Turn, turn. Move it back. And then move these guys back. Turn, 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 turn. This comes in here. The other thing that I will say about this puzzle is, unlike the others, you're going to have to do a little bit more deconstructing and reconstructing than before, which is why it's going to challenge things. So it's a lot of fun if you just take your time with it, keep your patience about you. This has to move in this plane over here. So now that I have this here, I've got to somehow get it over to here, which shouldn't be very difficult. I'll just go turn, 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 turn. How's that for algorithms? Turn, 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 turn. And then move it up to the white one here. So we'll go boom, 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 and just turn this in. Okay? So purple and green. Skip this. Let's go ahead and put the red one in. I've got one here that I can use. It's easy enough. Oh. Okay. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to move this guy into here without messing this one up. So I've got a variety of strategies that I can use to do that. One of which is I can just rotate it around, where if I rotate it from this perspective, what I want to have happen is I want this to be 2 away from here. So if I hold it here, then doing my RU, RIU, you know that one, it's going to start moving these guys around. So if I hold this here, and then here, and then here, this will stay in place, and this is free to orbit around. And I'm going to do that until I find it 2 away from here. Namely over here. 1, 2, 3. So until I find it here. 1, 2, 3, bang. And again. Bang. So there it is here. Okay, so here and here. So this is just an example of what makes this fun, is that you're going to be doing a lot more manipulating and maneuvering around like that. Alright, we want to move this one in here without destroying these guys. So we'll move this here. 1, 2, turn, 1, 2. So far, so good. This guy has to move into here without causing much pain. So move this here. 1, 2. Move this back. 1, 2. It's not really difficult, but from time to time I'll try to use one of the various strategies that we've learned. This has to move in this plane here, so it's going to have to come across this guy here. To come across this guy here, I can't move from here, so I'm going to have to put it into here. Turn, 1, 2, turn, 1, 2. Alright. Now that I have it here, I can move it into this guy so that I can move it into this plane. So like I say, we're just handing things off. And it's not going to offset anything that I put in, so I'm just going to move it down. And once I've done that, it's a matter of going 1, 2, yep, moving it in here. So 1, 2, 3, turn, 1, 2, 3, and then we turn this back. Alright, so green is in, red is in, purple is in, and that's all I'm going to be putting in on this layer over here. So now I'm going to go to this layer. We'll just start putting our greens in, just being cognizant of everything that we've done over here. So here's a green over here that I can just move, but now I got to be aware of this. So we're going to have to do it like this. Turn, 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 turn. Same thing with this side. Turn, 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 turn. And although it shouldn't have done anything to what we did, it's always good to check your work. We're doing all right. So now the other green. There's some greens here. We can move this to this side. So let's move it like so. 1, 2, turn, 1, 2. And now this guy, we want to move in this plane here. So it's best we move this down to here. So we're going to hand this off, but we can't hand this off directly. So we'll hand it off to the blue over here. 1, 2, turn, 1, 2, turn. This one didn't get affected. So now we have the blue with the green here. And we'll hand that off to here. Turn, 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 turn. And now just hand it to here. Turn, 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 turn. Okay? So the green is in, and we shouldn't have caused too much issues. Oop, we got this guy here. Blue's here. Okay, so if the red got blasted out, we can easily put it back in. And we've got to put it into here, which means we've got to move it back to the white. Turn, turn. Now here's the problem. If I do that, I'm going to knock the green out. So how am I going to put this over here? Well, what I can do... Oh, I hope that was centered. What I can do is I can do the Earth algorithm, the Earth technique. In that, what I really want to do to move this over to here is move this back and then move this to here so that when I move it in, this is fixed and this red comes to here. So I'm going to move it like here, and how am I going to move this to here? Well, that's the Earth technique. The Earth technique is where I take a fixed side, and then I just start moving things, do my algorithm that does the middle switching. But I'm not going to switch these guys. What I'm going to, edge switching rather, I'm not going to switch these guys, so it's going to be in a bandaged side, and I'm just going to move it around. So I'm going to do my algorithm until this comes to here. All right. Boom, 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 1, 2, 3, bang. And there it is. Yeah, there it is. So now I just move it down. So this is in, this is where I want it to be. And now it's just a matter of rolling it into here, but let's be sure and careful we're not moving anything we did out. So in, out, down, and back. So you've got the tools and the talent to solve this. You just have to use a variety of methods. Okay, so where were we? I think we were here, putting in the green. Okay, so now the next thing that we'll put in, why don't we try the orange? Looks like orange needs a lot of help. So we're going to put this in here. We can turn it like so. Turn, turn, turn. Let's not be so hasty. Okay, we didn't break anything. And now this one can be turned into here, hopefully. Turn, 1, 2, turn, 1, 2. As long as we're to the side of a fixed, non-fixed, a fixed center here, it generally shouldn't cause much trouble. All right, here's the other orange. This orange has to move in this plane here, which means I'm going to want to put it here in order to do that. So I'm just going to do a very quick... Oh. Okay, well, this won't move, so I'm going to have to move it to here, and then move it to here. So we'll go turn, 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 turn to get that back. Now that we have it here, I'm going to move it to here. Turn, turn, turn. Oops. Turn. Okay. So now we have the orange where we want it to be. We just have to put it here. So that's going to be 1, 2. Turn. 1, 2. Turn. Okay, and we're good. Now the other orange, here's the other orange here. I want it in this plane. So obviously it intersects with this guy. So turn, 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 turn. No worries because this one was fixed. So now this moves up into here. Turn, 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 turn. Okay. We need another orange. Thought I was done there for a second. This guy comes into here. So okay, so that's good. And we're still all right over here with these guys. So pink. Pink is the last one here. We can easily move this in. Turn, 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 turn. Here's another pink, which can go here. Turn, 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 turn. And where's our other pinks? Here's another pink here, which needs to go in this plane here, which means I need to move it easily into this white one. So turn. Because I've got these fixed sides here, I'm not worried about messing anything up. They're pretty well fixed right now. And now I just move this into here. 1, 2. Okay, now I can already see there's going to be trouble because to move this in means I'm going to turn this into this guy, which is fixed. So we have to be cognizant of that. What I may want to do is go 1, 2. Now ideally, this pink will move here without moving this into here. So this will come here and then move 2 back, and this red will move 2 back. So I'm going to make use of the earth strategy to move this to here by holding it here and doing the algorithm until I see pink facing this way. R, U, R, U, R, 1, 2, 3, RI. Here it is, lined up with the red. Turn it twice. There it is, there it is. So you're becoming experts at this now. Okay, here's the next pink. Can I roll this into here? Well, maybe. Probably not though, because if I come to here, and then I go 1, 2, this is going to drag that red with us. So that's not going to work. So once again, earth strategy. Move this in here. And if I can just get this to here, I can move the green back and the yellow back and move the pink in. So what I'm going to do is hold it here. I got to rotate this to here, but I'm not going to be able to do that facing frontwards because these two, as you recall, are going to be fixed. So what I want to do is orient this so that this can end up where the silver is. So where can I put it? Here? No, this is fixed. Here? No. Here? Yeah. So I'm going to keep doing the algorithm until this appears here. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, boom. All right. So I'm going to keep doing that until this appears here so I can move it down by the Earth algorithm. Battery cut out on me. I hope I'm not skipping around too much. But anyway, this needs to come over here so this can move down here, this can move down here. So turn, 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 1, 2, 3, turn. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, turn. So there it is here. Move it in, and we're good. And then move that back in. Okay, somewhere along the line in my confusion, this red one got knocked out. So let's see if we can't put that back in easily. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Now I want to just move this here because if I turn this in here, this is going to get locked in there. So it's going to be exactly the same thing. I'm going to turn it here, Earth algorithm, until this comes up here. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, boom. So there it is here. 1, 2. So I did that. That's good. That's good. Okay, so that's in. That's in. And on this side, this is in, and this is in.